Earlier this week, a new business was added to GTA Online. The Acid Lab. That's the new business that came in the Drug Wars update. And honestly, the first impressions of it were not that great. But as it turns out, once people dug into the numbers and figured everything out, it's actually the best business in the game. So in today's video, I'm going to be showing you guys why that is, what all the numbers look like, and how you can maximize the amount of money you make from it. So I think the big reason why a lot of people, myself included, thought this business wasn't that great is because the final payout is actually really small compared to other businesses. The final payout, even with the upgrades, is only $335,000, which doesn't sound like a lot of money comparing it to like a bunker sale, which is like 2 million. But the problem is we're not looking at the amount of time it takes to make that money. The bunker, I believe, takes close to like 11 hours, where this business, this Acid Lab business, only takes about 2.5. So the first thing I will say before we get into anything deeper, you are going to need the upgrade. None of the things we're going to be talking about in this video are the stock Acid Lab or even any other stock businesses. All of these numbers, you need the upgrades for the businesses. Pretty much all of the businesses in the game, if you don't upgrade them, they're not really that good. And that applies to the Acid Lab. So simply just do the 10 DAX missions. They don't take that long. The only downside, you're gonna have to wait, I think it's like 48, 50 minutes between each mission. There's a cooldown, but simply do 10 of those missions and you have to pay an extra 250K to get the upgrades. All in all, I mean, look, here's a good little, it's a meme picture, but it kind of gets the point across. The total investment for this Acid Lab is only 1 million, and that includes the upgrades. You can see some of the other benefits as well. You have a fast delivery bike. It's a mobile business, so you can call it anywhere. It can't be rated, which is another huge pro. There's only one sell vehicle, so no matter how much you have, you only needed one vehicle to sell. And you can restock it from the phone. And then he compared it in this meme picture to the cocaine, which is another similar business, and it's got a bunch of negatives. And the only other thing I will mention about businesses in GTA Online is that if you can AFK, like if you're willing to leave your console or your PC on like overnight or something, well, nothing actually comes close to the Nightclub business. That is still the best business if you can AFK, simply because you literally don't need to do anything for it to accumulate money. But of course, there are negatives to that. You have to leave your consoles on, you know, energy costs. You have to find a way so you don't get kicked. So there are some negatives to that, but still, if you do want to just make money very easily, AFKing in the Nightclub or AFKing for the Nightclub business is still the way to go. But apart from that, this new Acid Lab business beats all of the other passive businesses in the game by quite a bit, actually. So we're going to take a look at this little chart. This was made by LogOfOne, so shout out to him for finding this all out and doing the math. But we can see how the Acid Lab compares to every other passive business in the game. And it starts with the bunker, and the number we're really looking at is the profit per hour. Because again, looking at the bunker here, the revenue per sale, I said it was 2 million, it's actually 1 million, but it takes literally 11.5 hours to make. So actually the profit per hour isn't even that good with the bunker. Comparing that to the Acid Lab here, and he has it a couple of times here. So one with no boost, one boosted 1 time, and then another boosted 2 times, which I'll explain how you can do that. But these numbers are actually much, much better. You can see without the boost, the profit per hour is still higher than the bunker. Boosting it only 1 time increases it significantly over the bunker. It puts it up to almost 80,000 per hour. And if you actually boost twice, it bumps that number up to 120,000 per hour, which is nuts compared to all of these other passive businesses. Now, below the Acid Lab and the bunker, you can see all the other ones. The cocaine, actually, surprisingly, is, I think the second one, as far as businesses go, that one per hour is 67,000. As we all know, the other biker businesses, apart from cocaine, aren't that good. Those are all pretty low. And then the Nightclub one, again, which is the best for AFKing, that one, the profit per hour is pretty low at only 47,000. So just looking at those numbers, the 3 businesses, maybe 4 businesses if you want to include the nightclub, that you're really going to want for passive business income are the bunker, the acid lab, and cocaine. Of course, with the bunker and with the cocaine, you do have to deal with some of the other negatives. The sell missions aren't that easy. Sometimes they also require multiple vehicles. So if you're doing stuff solo, they're not that easy. And those businesses may not necessarily be near you. So to supply them and to sell them, you're gonna have to drive far away to do all of that. The acid lab, again, like we mentioned, has none of those negatives. You can call it anywhere. You can buy the supplies from anywhere. It can't ever get raided, so you don't have to worry about that. But let's talk about these boost times. So there is a mechanic, and we've talked about this. You probably have already figured it out. Inside of the acid lab, you can go to this little part of the truck, and you can boost the production. Now, I believe this only does last for 1 hour of IRL time, and you can only do this once per day, and that's once per IRL day. So if you do it at noon today, you can't boost it again until noon tomorrow. Well, looking at this list here, without the boost, it takes 4 hours for the acid lab to fully produce the amount of, product. Boosting it only once, so once per day, it changes that to 3 hours. But then how do we boost it 2 times? Because that only takes about 2 hours to produce. Well, the way that works, and you have to be a little bit more on top of your game doing this, which maybe is a negative. You can boost once per day. So you get on, you play for an hour while your acid lab is boosted. Then you would be getting off. You get back on the next day, boost it again. And then after that second boosted hour, you're going to be getting the full product. So yeah, that is a little bit more complicated. I don't know if you're going to be doing that all the time, but it is the best way to sort of cheese this, and it is the best way to get the most amount of money per hour. So again, you're going to be boosting only for an hour one day, wait until the next day, boost for an hour, and that's the fastest way to get money with this acid lab. And all of these numbers, if we haven't figured it out, these all do imply you are just buying the supplies, because you can see the cost of supplies, at least for the acid lab. For a full production, it's going to be 96,000. You're going to subtract that from the 335,000, and that's what gives you the 239,000 per sale. And all of these numbers are basically what you'd be getting in an invite-only lobby. This does not take into account the high demand bonus, and that is only going to increase the amount of money you make on all of these businesses. Specifically for the acid lab, I showed it already, but I'll show it again. If you sell in a 20-player lobby, because it actually caps out at 20 players, but anywhere from 20 to 30 players, if you sell in a lobby with that many people, and somehow you don't get griefed, you will actually be making, instead of 335,000 per sale, you'll be making 502,000 per sale. And if you do subtract the supplies, which again is 96,000, you're looking at a little over 400,000 per sale. And if you can get 400,000 in only 2 hours of passive work, if you boost this twice, that is an absurd amount of profit per hour. That's the best you can get in the game. And that is actually why this acid lab is the best passive business at the moment. And it probably will be for a while. Now, specifically about this boost, I do want to mention there is an issue. If you boost and then you, for whatever reason, your game crashes, you just leave GTA Online, I think maybe even if you go into single player and then you come back right away, your boost is gone. So when you boost, make sure you're going to be playing GTA Online for the next hour. Otherwise, those benefits are not going to be given to you. It's a little unfortunate. I don't know if that's like supposed to happen, because most things, if you do them, you leave and then you come back, like they'll still show up, but not the acid lab production boost. That will reset if you quit your game. Also, like all these other passive businesses, if you didn't know, you have to be in game or in a mission for them to actually accumulate money. So make sure you're doing that. You can't just go offline, or you can't be in single player. You have to be in the game. So hopefully this explains the new acid lab business a lot more. And maybe this changes the way you see it. Because again, if you were like me, you probably thought it wasn't really that great of a business. But as it turns out, it's actually the best business, the best passive business in the game right now. And with the news of the nerfs of the Cayo Perico and Rockstar making that much, much harder, maybe instead of grinding that and then grinding some missions, you just end up doing these passive businesses and then goofing around in free mode while they make money. That might be the new best way to enjoy GTA Online. So hopefully you guys take advantage of this. Whether you're boosting twice or whether you're just boosting once, the Acid Lab is the new best passive business in the game. So that's going to do it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. Please drop it a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe for more GTA content. And as always, I'll see you all in the next one.